We back with the late night streaming again, y'all. Welcome back to the PSN Command Network. Your boy Tom K. Sack. I am back with a live stream. If I get to all glory to God, for him, I wrap it to God. So God's open doors and pave ways for all people. In the Almighty Lord Jesus Christ, we name pray. Now today's video, got a couple of guests with me before I get too far into it. Quick verse of the day is from Hebrews chapter 13, verse 7. It says as follows: remember your leaders who spoke the word of God to you. Consider the outcome of their way of their life and imitate their faith. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. There you go. Now, first, got a familiar face. My guy Juan from Wild Guy Talking Sports. What to do, Juan?
What's going on, Tech? I appreciate you for having me on, man. Big day in Commander's Land. And I'm excited to talk about it. Appreciate you for having me.
For sure. Grant, what it do, man?
What's going on? How we doing? Good day for content. Good day to be a commander.
Man, what? Good day for content. So if y'all guys don't know, this to my right is Grant Mitchell from the Full Command Show. Very rising content creator in our community, bro. 4,000 around the corner, sir. That thing around the corner, good man.
I think I need some more people to get fired. Towards the end of the season, the losses caught up to me. Numbers are slowing down, but we had a good day today. So,
bro said we don't want people to get fired. It's crazy. Of course, we know Juan, man. Juan is an OG in our community now. 6 years now, Juan.
Yeah, 2019, man.
Likewise,
Case Keenum, Dwayne Haskins, man. It's been a while. It's crazy to say that.
Case Keenum, Dwayne Haskins, Terry McLaurin's rookie season, Kelvin Harmon, and Steven Sims Jr., for whatever that's worth. Yeah. Juan and I have been at this for a while now. Shout out to Juan, OG. I've been at it for a while too. So if you are coming from the Full Command Show, and subscribe to me and Juan, please do so. I hope Grant will put it in the description down below. Very appreciate Grant for that. If you come from my channel, if you're not subscribed to Grant yet, please hit the subscribe button. I will put his channel link in the pinned comments on my channel when this thing is published. So please subscribe to Grant, give him the 4K. Because Grant does great content on his channel. Film reviews, all type of stuff. Dope content. Please subscribe. And of course, Juan does play-by-plays, discussion videos, and crazy theory videos, and all that good jack. Juan, these two put some real good content out for their different content styles. So please subscribe to both of them. Juan's on the road to 12,000.
12,000, yes.
And Grant's on his way to 4,000. I'm on the way to 8K. So we all like somewhere like.
Yeah, it's an interval.
It's an interval. Grant way to 4, one way to 8, and Juan way to 12. So I think it's actually pretty dope if we just thought about that. That's pretty cool. But y'all talk about this evening. We're gonna get right into the festivities. This is gonna be kind of a season reflection, season ending roundtable type thing. But some news dropped on our head top today. Boom, bah, bah, and it literally smacked the living fire out of me. And before we get to it, shout out to the $2 super chat. Shout out to you for the $2 dono. Appreciate that so much. Love you guys. Love you too. Also, happy New Year to you. I ain't say happy New Year to you, by the way. So we should get Gannon and Stefanski. I will get to that in one moment. That's an interesting combo.
Jumping the gun a little bit.
A little bit, but that's an interesting combo. I was thinking about the same thing. We'll get to that. But appreciate the super chat. Appreciate that. Much love. Appreciate you. Much love. Well, appreciate you. I don't know if that came from my channel or your channel. Yeah, your channel. Yeah. But yeah. Shout out for the $2 super chat, whoever that came from. I think for Grant. So shout out to you for donating to Mr. Grant, Mr. Channel.
Wherever it came from, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. If it came from my channel, we'll Grant, appreciate it. If it came from your bro. But yeah. Let's talk about Joe Witt Jr. and Cliff Kingsbury getting BTA this morning by DQ and company. Told him thanks, but no thanks for your services. Get the heck out of here. You're no longer required. We're parting ways. You're going this way. You're going that way. Stiff arm Heisman. Nice knowing you. What are your thoughts on Joe Witt first? Because it's kind of more the obvious one. And Cliff, what's up with that? What are your thoughts on that one? Do y'all hate it? Do y'all like love it? Yes, Cliff is out of here. No more college offense. Get this. Or you like DQ? This might be the moment you might effed up. I will start with Juan because Juan's in the middle, and then Grant for myself.
I don't know how I ended up back in the middle, but hey, I'll take it. Look, I was always a part of the continuity crowd. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I loved everything Cliff Kingsbury did over this past season, but I've always kind of put majority of the blame on the main obvious reason, and that was injuries, of course, and Jaden Daniels being in and out of the lineup. So I was like, look, Cliff is going to be gone regardless next year. Whether we're good again, he's going to get head coaching opportunities again like he did after last year. He clearly had the job in New Orleans, but he didn't think highly of it, so he didn't take it. And I also thought, well, if we're bad again in year 3, he's going to obviously be fired. The whole staff might be gone at that point. So I was kind of in the middle. I was like, I really didn't care. I wasn't too tied to him to stay, but I didn't really wanted him to leave either. I was probably more on the side of keeping him just for Jane Daniels' familiarity and his growth. However, when we kind of seen the Diana Rossini news coming, I know everybody don't like really take her words with a grain of salt. But once we started to see those kind of rumors come out, it was like, okay, maybe this thing could be, parting ways. And then when we saw that Cliff was going to be interviewing for the Titans head coaching job, so okay, this could be a real thing. But I still didn't really think much of it at the time. But then today, once we got the news that he was gone, it was like, okay, they are serious. Because not only did they let him go, but then they obviously Joe Witt, that's the most obvious one. And then Bobby Johnson, which was a surprise to me as well. I'm going to be honest with you. This reaps desperation for me. This reaps panic for me if I'm Dan Quinn. And I don't totally hate it because, again, you don't want to wait too late to try to make a move and then the damage is already done. But then at the same time, it's like, okay, well, you arguably let go of one of your best coaches, and Cliff was really good. And that offense in 2024 was, I want to say, number 5. And at times, this offense looked good, even with Marcus Mariota in the lineup at this year. You're taking a risk, letting go of Cliff Kingsbury. But this reaps for me to just say Dan Quinn is pushing all his chips to the table because he knows his time could be borrowed if he does not perform in year 3. And you can kind of see throughout these press conferences through the year that this year really took a toll on Dan Quinn and Adam Peters too. A lot of things went wrong. I will say this, not to just go back to the press conference, but I love the fact that they were able to take accountability, right? That's the biggest thing that you would love to see from a GM, most importantly. With the Terry McLaurin situation, he says, look, I wish we would have got it done earlier. There's some other things I wish we would have done. We're going to add a pass rusher this offseason, things of that nature. But it was very, 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 very surprising that this ripple effect happened. I wouldn't be surprised if we wake up tomorrow and some more positional coaches are gone. Everybody wants to go with Donatil and wants to put the blame on some other guys. So it wouldn't surprise me if they completely just start getting rid of other guys. Last thing I'll say is the offensive line was pretty good the last 2 years, and specifically this year. I know it wasn't the best, wasn't perfect, but I didn't really see Bobby Johnson being fired, man. That was the surprise of the day for me.
That's your thoughts, bro.
Yeah, so I view this differently. I don't think it's desperation at all. I think it's recognizing the writing on the wall. And this is when this coaching staff was first assembled, we all know that they didn't get their first choice guy. They wanted Ben Johnson, and you see what he's doing with Caleb in Chicago. It's kind of obvious why. So Adam Peters made the right decision. He just didn't get it. Ben Johnson said, no, turn that plane around. I'm not interested. So they end up with some of their backups. coaches that were effectively on the scrap heap. And my concern with these coaches, who I think all of them have very good qualities, I'm not calling for anybody's job or anything like that. I'm not celebrating Cliff being fired. I want to make that clear. But my position with these coaches was I looked at them as 1 to 2 year coaches. And I hope that I was wrong. I wanted to be proven wrong. But so far, I've been proven right, which is all of them. Cliff comes in. He's a relatively innovative guy. He's got a unique style. It's tough for teams to account for. You see what he did in college. He gets Kyler Murray, the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. That is Cliff Kingsbury. He comes in, he innovates. And I actually think what we saw from Cliff last year was the best that we've ever seen from him in any stop, college or NFL. So I want to give him his credit where it's due. But I felt the same way about Dan Quinn as well. Joe Jr., nobody knew. We were just kind of waiting because he'd been a position coach his whole career. But Dan Quinn especially, I was like, all right, this is the perfect guy. Come in, set the culture, make everybody feel like they belong, like they're a part of something, buy in, teach them how to be brothers, and then you hand it off to somebody else. And we're caught in that spot right now. This is where I'll circle back and say it's not desperation. For me, we're caught in that circle right now. We've already hit our head on the ceiling. We bursted through it. We were never supposed to make the conference championship game. We just happened to have the best rookie quarterback in the history of the NFL. So they got to heights that they didn't even imagine. Dan Quinn, in this modern NFL, people are just too smart. And not that Dan Quinn is dumb, but is he a genius compared to these other head coaches walking around out there? He's not a genius compared to Kyle Shanahan. He's not a genius compared to Sean McVay. On the defensive side, he's not a genius compared to Mike McDonald. He's not a genius compared to Jim Harbaugh and Jesse Minter, who's probably going to get a head coaching job. Matt LaFleur. So you just run down this list. And Cliff Kingsbury, while he was good for Jade in his first year, we could even say he was good for him his second year, although we don't know because we barely got to see him play. There was no innovation on the offense, good play designs, but as far as actually structuring a real offense, the constant no huddles meant that if you messed up, you were going 3 and out very quickly, and your defense is right back out on the field. The shotgun runs makes you predictable. I know he said that he doesn't view it that way, and honestly, the numbers kind of support him in that because the offense we had did look good for a long time, but 9 times out of 10, you're very predictable with your running game. A lot of times I felt like the running game wasn't married to the passing concepts. So for that reason, I think DQ just evaluated it, said, the way that things are going, we need to innovate. And also we got to keep Jaden healthy. That's a big thing. Cliff's system was QB designed runs, scrambling, constantly just being frantic with this no huddle. Like everybody's go, gas pedal. And that's how you end up getting your quarterback hurt. So for all those reasons, I actually thought this was probably the right thing for everybody involved because Cliff's going to bounce back. Cliff's going to get a job somewhere. But
my quick thoughts on this is that I'm in between what you said and what Juan said. I can see that it's some type of desperation because DQ knows if this doesn't go well, he's cooked. And this could be his last chance at being a head coach in this league. And he doesn't want to screw it up. And he doesn't want to, if he want to die, he want to die on a sword that he will want to be on. And he just doesn't like Cliff Kingsbury's philosophy. My thing about it is, if you didn't like the philosophy to begin, why hire him? That's what kind of pissed me off a little bit. But not here nor there. They didn't agree on things that part ways.
DQ was hired late in the cycle, so a lot of the big candidates were probably gone. Yeah,
but I mean, if you want to hire OC, I mean like Cliff. I mean, DQ hiring Cliff. Like, why would you hire Cliff in the first place if you're Dan Quinn? If you know his offense is an air raid offense to begin with, and you want to be more of a run heavy pro style offense, you knew Cliff wasn't bringing it into the table in the first place. Why hire him? And that's my beef. Not them hiring DQ. That was fine. Once Ben Johnson said no, I knew this ship had sailed. Like, you're not getting Mike McDonald. You're gonna go somewhere else. You were going to get someone that you didn't truly desire. So yeah, that was fine. But why would you hire Cliff if you didn't like his offensive philosophy? Like, you knew he was more pass happy. You knew this is an air raid offense. You knew this. Oh, but I know why. Because you wanted immediate success. So we're going to give you immediate success. Cliff. All right, cool. And the moment things went left, adios. Get the heck out of here. Nice knowing you. Stephon. Heisman. Get your high pots out of here. But the Bobby Johnson one pissed me off. That's the one that made you mad. I ain't gonna hold you. I know Joe Whitt was coming. He was getting axed the moment Dan Quinn said, give me that play sheet. Give me that. Give me that. Ain't yours no more. You can't call no defense. I'd have fired him right then and there. Like, why'd you wait? Get back here. What are you doing? But that's his boy. I get it. Fine. Give him a couple more game checks before you say adios. Fine. Whatever. I have no problem with that. But the O-line didn't do bad the last couple of years. Why are we firing Bobby Johnson for? Like, why are we not firing Tommy Donatello with this bum secondary and looks like total garbage, and that Quan Martin with two good shoulders looked 20 times worse than with two separated ones? What are we doing? A secondary with Mikey Sanders still is feast or famine. I love Mikey, by the way. He's feast or famine. He's either getting a pick, a PBU, or getting deep fried, sauteed with extra seasoning. There's no in between with this. A secondary where you're depending on Will Harris so much. The moment he goes down, everything goes around. The moment a secondary that's so bad that our boy Grant had to give Jeremy Reeves a game ball in week 18 because it was that bad. Why is Tommy Donatello got a freaking job at the yard, man? Why do you have a job? If you could fire Cliff, if you could fire O-line Bobby Johnson, if Tommy Donatello don't get his little peanut head, mullet head, Cole Holcomb's uncle looking the fuck out of here. This is my thing. If you're going to fire somebody for doing a decent job, why not fire the idiot that can't do their job? What are we doing?
Well, I think more changes are coming to the coaching staff. The Bobby Johnson thing definitely caught me off guard. It's obviously caught you guys off guard as well, it sounds like. There are 4 possible options that I've narrowed this down to. Number 1 is there was an internal issue. Number 2 is they know who the next offensive coordinator is, and he's bringing his own O-line coach. Number 3 is they're panicking. I think that's probably the least likely. And number 4, and this is probably what I think is the most likely, I think going off of what we've got from them firing Cliff Kingsbury, reportedly that was due to the balance of run versus pass. And although the Commanders actually run the football a lot of it is scrambles, and there's Jaden Daniels design runs. So they want like giving the running back 15 to 20 carries a game. That's what they're talking about with the run pass balance. All of those things make me think they want to go with a coach, an offensive line coach, who's more adept at zone scheme running, which is not what we did this year. A guy like Dwayne Ledford, who was actually just fired by the Atlanta Falcons. I was looking at his numbers. Bijan Robinson this year ran zone. This year and last year ran zone on 75% of his carries. So if they're trying to go into more of this Shanahan mold, this West Coast offense, well, that's all zone running. So from what I'm gathering there, I think they fired Bobby Johnson largely just because he doesn't fit the mold of what they want their offense to look like.
Let's get to some comments real quick. Shout out to Uptown Dre. Yo, what it do? O-line was not trash. I don't know where you getting this nonsense from.
No,
I mean, you stop rolling up whatever weed you rolling up, whatever shot of Jameson you taking. Whatever you're doing, I mean, you just stop what you're doing. Respectfully.
So my question would be, I actually like that theory that you brought up about the zone running, and using Bijan Robinson as one of the examples, as he was just major good on a whole different level. I mean, I seen him play in person.
No, for real, me and you both.
I seen him play in person. It's true levels to this. I also seen Jahmyr Gibbs as well this season. So those guys are on a whole different kind of level. But my question would be, do we think this move could impact some of the guys that actually took strides forward this year? I made that point earlier in my video. Was we seen ascendance from Chris Paul? Like to a point where I wanted him back as the starting left guard this upcoming year, get paid and get extended alongside Laramie Tunsil. But how much of that of his play style and how much of his performance was due to the fact that maybe Bobby Johnson was able to get the best out of him? I know his run scheme isn't the best, or it doesn't seem to be the fit that they want to go with. But what about some of your guys that are here that have developed due to him? And you got to give him the credit. We don't know if it was really solely him or not. Maybe Chris Paul, just with more time and more opportunities given to him, he just came and played better. But that would just be my next question, would just be kind of hidden to that. Laremy Tunsil. So clearly he was going to come over. That's why you trade for a guy like that from Houston, because he's going to be whoever he's going to be, and that's be a Hall of Famer or borderline Hall of Fame kind of caliber guy wherever he's at. Maybe they didn't like the development of Josh Connolly under him. That's another one that you can probably add to your list. Although I felt like throughout the year he got better, maybe they just didn't think he was getting the best out of him. That can be a theory, a reach, a stretch, whatever you want to have you, but that's where we're at right now, just throwing stuff at the board to see what sticks as to reasons why they let go of Bobby Johnson. So you maybe take that for what it's worth as well.
Jason, come with my division. We got Cliff. We're going with sign Chip Kelly. Lord have mercy. We just picked up Chip Kelly out of through hands of the world. I ain't got time for that.
Let me talk about that, because that is the big counter argument. That's what everybody would say, and Chris Paul specifically. First and foremost, I thought, I'm like you, and I think most of us have kind of said, "Oh, Chris Paul's good. We should probably bring him back on it. He should get a new contract." This doesn't mean everything, because Pro Football Focus is flawed. But at the end of the season, I did a look at the Pro Football Focus grades of every Commanders player just to see where they were. And Chris Paul was given like a 45. He was our third lowest offensive player. It was like Colson Yankoff and someone else, and then him. So
I thought it was I thought it had 51.2 in that video. My fault.
If it is 51.2, I mean, you got a good memory.
Yeah.
Like, I was just making something up. It might be 51.2.
Yeah,
but
I think it's 51.2 because it was like Colson Yankoff in that video. Then it was like it was someone
Jalen
else.
Lane
No, it was Nick Allegretti.
Oh yeah, and
Andrew
Andrew Wiley.
Wiley. That's
Yeah,
what that was. There we go.
But Chris Paul was still down at the bottom. I want to say he was like 20 out of 24, something like that.
He was pretty
So
on the list, though,
that
sure.
that planted a seed in my head. And then I was really watching him in week 18. And there was a play at the goal line where Byron Young completely threw him out of the way. And we weren't really getting a good push on the interior. So I think Chris Paul definitely played some really good games when he first got added into the lineup. And I don't know, I could be wrong. It's just seeing the PFF grade is kind of like lodged itself in my head. So I want to go back and I want to look at the all 22 from the last games and see if Chris Paul was actually good. But to get back on track here, to the Josh Connolly piece of it, because he's the first rounder, him and Tunsil, those are the guys we're looking at. I'm wondering almost if they misprofiled Connolly, and it wouldn't be just them. It would be everybody, because every single person agreed coming out of Oregon, young kid, speed and agility, that's the upside, but he lacks play strength. He's got to develop that in the NFL. What we've seen from him, and you've even heard Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury talk about, is they're surprised at his power in the running game. And a lot of it's not been like flying around the corner, you're pulling the tackle, and he's running into somebody. And I guess I should say there's a difference between power and strength. Power would be running around and I'm getting my 300-pound frame into you and I'm moving you out of the way. Strength is just I'm latching onto you, get my hands on you, and I'm moving furniture. Connolly actually did a good job of that this season. So I don't want to beat a dead horse with the whole zone thing, but Connolly has shown more strength than I think they imagined. And Chris Paul, if he does have a strength, it's strength. So again, Bobby Johnson deserves credit because those guys definitely got better as the year went on, but it could be the same thing as what we're seeing with Cliff Kingsbury, where, okay, things went well, we saw improvement, but we feel like we might be capped out with where we're at.
That's fair. I agree with that. I think that's why I said at the start of the show, like, I'm kind of torn with the Cliff Kingsbury thing. I wasn't total. I mean, clearly we're not upset that he's gone, but we weren't all, hey, he has to go. And that's a good point that you bring up with Cliff Kingsbury as well. Maybe it gets to a point where that they feel like they've seen enough of Cliff, or also with Cliff, this is the biggest thing that's going around as well, is he's stubborn. He doesn't want to change. But to Tone's point, that's who he was coming out of college, whether you want to go with Texas Tech and Patrick Mahomes and Johnny Manziel, or in Arizona with Kyler Murray. He's always been an air raid college, out of the shotgun offense. I mean, if there's victory formations of him in Arizona with Kyler Murray out of the shotgun. Like, he does not want to get under center. But there is a reason why Marcus Mariota was under center a lot. Is that because late down the season, Dan Quinn probably forced him to make these quarterbacks get under center? So that's my thing with this, is if you are going to want to have a more balanced offense, we still have Jaden Daniels, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I don't want this to become a thing where we're handicapping our team, treating it like we're Philadelphia, where they're gonna talk your head off about how much they love Jalen Hurts and he's this kind of quarterback. No, he is simply a okay quarterback that has a supporting cast around him and has a running back like Saquon. All they have to do is hand the football off to him and let him do wonders. I don't want us to be that, because we don't have that kind of quarterback. We have a guy that is superstar potential. So yes, I agree with running the ball more. I think we have some quality backs on this roster, and Bill and C-Rod. I'm not opposed to going out and getting Breece Hall, K9. I mean, even Rashad White, or even drafting Jeremiah Love if you feel like you want to go that route. Like, I'm not opposed to that at all. But I just don't want to get lost in this approach of we gotta be run first team or run dominant team when you have a guy like Jaden Daniels under center.
I completely agree with that. I should have a comment because I want to answer this one. Came from your channel, Grant. So, how we bring back Debo? Are y'all pro Debo or anti Debo, or you? Louis T said you're on the fence. I'm gonna start this one off. Debo, we appreciate you. Carry your behind. That way. Yep, that way. No Migos. But yeah, that way. Yeah, that way. I'm so good. And it's like Debo wasn't impactful. It wasn't that. The drops he had were the most inopportune drops ever. They were back-breaking, drive destructive. What the heck drops? The Vikings game, 4th and goal. I need you to catch that. You, my wide receiver, to catch that. I think in week 1 in the Giants game, like a 3rd and 9. I think the only 3rd down we didn't convert in the first half. Dropped it. Boop, boop, boop. Butterfingers. Catch the ball, Debo. That's a 3rd down. That's the difference between kicking a field goal and punting the football, Debo. And it was like, this is critical 3rd downs. He would just drop the football. And it's like, bro, I can't deal with this. No. You cannot be on this team doing this. Our margin of error is thin enough as is. We're not the most talented roster in the world. You can't drop the ball in these situations, bro. You drop it on 1st and 10, I don't care. I'm not going to kill you for that. You drop it on 2nd and 12, I'm not going to kill you for that. You drop it on 3rd and 8, I'm throwing hands. And he does it every time. He had a drop. It was a critical situation. I'm like, bro, get me off my team. Can't do this no more. When you drop that touchdown in Minnesota, all right, bro. Done. Wipe my hands.
My answer's simple. We can't pay 2 30-year-old receivers. You just can't do it. If we're gonna have a San Francisco receiver, I would 1,000 times out of 10 rather have Brandon Ayuk than Debo. And I don't even really want Brandon Ayuk on this team. I'll be completely honest. Debo, if we were going to get the most out of him for a physical guy whose body was already supposedly breaking down, it would have happened this year. Granted, he didn't get the best opportunity because a guy like Debo needs Terry out there for him to be at his best, needs his quarterback to be out there. Whatever, the whole year was kind of a sunk cost. Bringing him back at 30 years old, moving on from Cliff, a Cliff offense was the perfect offense for him to reach whatever potential he has at this stage of his career. It's not going to happen moving forward. It would be a waste of money.
Yeah, so I'm actually a little bit different with you guys. I think I'm there with you towards your end of your comment, but I'm against you guys with bringing him back. I was all for bringing him back. Again, I guess you can say on the fence because I like if we didn't bring him back, I wasn't like, oh my God. But I felt like especially that Dallas game, and then early on in the season, we seen periods of time where Debo was actually doing what he was brought here to do. Tone, I know you bring up his drops and you bring up his hands. Debo Samuel was never looked at to be a pure receiver with amazing hands. He was always this gadget guy. You get to him out of the backfield, you get the ball in his hands on some screens. And as you brought up, Grant, like Cliff Kingsbury's offense was perfect for him. That's why I wanted him back, because I'm like, okay, bring Debo back 1 year with Cliff and Jayden, and I guarantee you his numbers, which was around 700 receiving yards, something like that this year. Like it would. If you told me not to go back into the past, but if you told me once we first signed Debo here that he was going to give me 700 receiving yards, and of course in our mind Terry was going to be healthy and he was going to give us his guaranteed 1,000, that is major production that we have not got from a receiver 2 or a weapon 2 for Terry. So I would have taken that. I would have took what Terry and Debo could have got us together. So I would bring Debo back on a 1 year deal if he's willing to take a 1 year deal. I don't think he probably looks to get paid, but I would love for him to have some humbleness in him and say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna run this thing back one more time, at least give myself 1 more year. If they even are willing to give him another year and he's willing to take another year to see what this thing truly could be like. If we have 17 games of Jayden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, and Debo Samuel, and Trey Burks now, of course. But I'm with you all too. I think he was a Cliff guy. And Cliff's offense was perfect for him. And I don't see him being back now due to the departure of Cliff Kingsbury. But if it was up to me, yes, I would bring Debo back. Is he my weapon too? Is he my receiver too? No. But he's a guy that I think fits in well with a team's offense. So I don't think he's going to have a tough time finding work regardless if it's here or not.
Tone, can you throw Dave Butts 2448? Can you throw that comment up on the screen? The one about the yak?
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah. Well, this quick one? No. Let's move on. No more Jack Del Goofy on this channel. No Jack Del Goofy, okay? No Jack Del Goofy.
It was at 10:52. It says the yak that Debo gets offsets the drops.
Hell no.
Can you just throw that?
Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to find it. Give me 1 second.
It was at 10:52. All right. So
no.
I'm on PFF right now. I'm looking at Debo's yards after catch per reception, not per game, not per season, per reception. So the most of his career was in 2020 at 12.2. The next year it's at 10.8. The next year it's at 9.6. The next year it's at 8.7. The next year it's at 8.2. This year it's at 6.5. By far the lowest of his career. Now, we can blame that on Josh Johnson and Mariota playing a little bit, but this is the Debo Samuel, the perfect image we have of him. He's not a bad player. He's still an NFL player, but he is not this Debo wide receiver too. If you want to have a real offense, you need to be able to run the football. You need to have a wide receiver that's ahead of him in the pecking order. You need to have you need to have a tight end. You need to have a wide receiver 2, and Debo's your wide receiver 3. And he's a wide receiver 3 gadget guy at 30 years old that you would have to pay significant money to, because he's going to be asking for probably $15 million. I mean, that's what Cooper Kupp got, and Cooper Kupp is washed. So it's a hard no. Someone out there is going to give him the money. Someone's going to do it. But considering how aggressive we want to be, and when I listened to what Adam Peters said, he said one time he said we need to get younger and faster. And then another time he said we need to get young, exciting, fast, explosive talent. And Debo just doesn't match either of those descriptions right now.
He's none of that.
Hell no. Oh, no, sir. But Alec Pierce is. No else is. Wan'Dale Robinson. No, who's not. Debo Samuel. Bye-bye. See you later.
And I mean
your drops.
I have nothing against Debo. Like, I appreciate him being here. I thought I put out a weekly series I did on my channel was I put out 5 hot takes every week. My first hot take of the entire season was Debo's going to lead the team in total yards. So nothing against him. It's just thinking rationally about the future.
Yeah, and Debo's not a bad football player. I'm not saying Debo's bad. I just think it's not worth the money. And someone asked about a comp pick if somebody signed someone else. We won't get no comp picks. So we're gonna spend some money, bro. I'm gonna stand on that.
We got some more super chats.
Yeah,
you got some more super chats. Let me go get to those. Love you guys. We get Gannon and Stefanski. What do y'all think about that duo, by the way?
Stefanski's gonna get a head coaching job.
I agree with that too. Unfortunately,
Two-time head coach of the year, offensive guru. I mean, in Cleveland, didn't have a quarterback. What, Baker Mayfield late iterations, or no?
Early Baker Mayfield.
No, I'm talking about like before he left, like Baker Mayfield left. So like not Freddie Kitchens, Baker Mayfield, like the late stages of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
That's before he kind of went, down his spiral of Carolina or LA and all that stuff.
Yeah, Carolina, LA, and all that.
So yeah, he really didn't have a quarterback. I mean, he tried to pay Deshaun Watson, and that was crazy. So he has too good of a resume to become an offensive coordinator. Would I turn it down? I mean, would I want it? Yes. I mean, there was a report that came out today that said Washington's offensive coordinator job, according to some coaches, agents, is more attractive than said vacancies at the head coaching position. Now, we'll see how up to date that is now that John Harbaugh is fired. I think that Lamar Jackson and Baltimore Ravens job becomes like that. You never see anything like that. So like that's rare. So I'm sure a guy like Stefanski is probably chomping at the bit. I even saw Cliff's name coming up in that category in that discussion.
Cliff and Lamar. Oh, so,
I would be for Stefanski. I just realistically don't think he's gonna get it. I mean, we're gonna get it because he's gonna be a head coach. I know a lot of people want to go with Gannon, and maybe I guess. I know he's not gonna do it because he said he's gonna do what's best for the team. But I'm a part of the group that, and it's very few actually that surprises me. I want to see Dan Quinn as a defensive coordinator, calling this defense a healthy defense, not the iteration that he had to deal with. Antonio Hamilton Sr. out there and things of that nature. Like,
he's our best corner this year.
I'm not. I know that sounds like not believable, but I believe you. Like if you was like, I know, like, come on, like we're that down bad at the quarterback position that I believe you.
That was funny.
Like I would love to see Dan because, like, again, you cannot sit up here and tell me this guy is a far cry from what he was in Dallas and in Atlanta and for the better part of his career early on in Legion of Boom in Seattle. Like he got Deron Bland paid top money. He got Trayvon Diggs paid top money. He unleashed who Micah Parsons is today. So I would love to see him actually be the defensive coordinator here, but per Nicky Giovanni, he's going to end up hiring somebody, and it's probably going to be Raheem Morris. So we'll see though.
Yeah. I think like ideally, realistically, ideally it would be Stefanski and insert defensive coordinator with Raheem Morris. My pick is Jim Schwartz. I don't lie. This man was man Hazlitt, Jim Hazlitt on steroids. My man just presses engage 8 on Madden and just sends the team at everybody. I was keeping some just blitz to draws off people. Blitz to draws off quarterbacks and make them run away like crackheads. Like, oh, the whole team coming out. I'm going to quarterback like, all right, bro. I don't want to play against the Commanders no more, bro. They just blitz too much. I can't sit in this pocket. I can't do it. Offensive line can't block 8 dudes. You got DA and then we'll speak to David Bailey and some of these other guys coming at me. I'm good, bro. I don't want to deal with this anymore. So just supposed to be my personal pick at defensive coordinator and it was Stefanski. But I realistically, Brian Daboll, I guess.
That's my guy.
Brian Daboll, I guess. I'm saying this reluctantly. I don't love it.
Why would you fire Cliff Kingsbury just to hire Cliff Kingsbury?
That's a good point.
Hold up.
I don't think of it from that perspective. Now looking at it, I'm trying to look back at his time doing Buffalo and like the magic
Yeah.
that he made with Josh Allen. I'm like, okay, yeah, of
It
course.
wasn't super spread with Josh Allen though. It was
So
like a pro style offense. It's still some. There's some spread concepts with it to Grant's point.
I don't think he is
I
like
mean, it's air raid as Cliff is.
ideal. I don't think he's like complete copy and paste of Cliff Kingsbury, but I think he would be able to unleash more out of Jaden Daniels than Cliff Kingsbury was, just solely off of his resume. But I get that. My question would be then if we don't want to go with another guy that's going to get the best out of our quarterback and Brian Dable because he's similar to Cliff Kingsbury and we feel like Cliff Kingsbury was that, who out there is going to be the person that is the best for this job since we're run heavy, or that's the biggest reason why we got rid of Cliff Kingsbury. Something tells me is more to that than them having disagreements over the run scheme. That it has to be more than that.
Way more than that.
I get it, but like I'm only replying, to Grant, basically saying, that would be the same kind of thing. I don't know, Grant. I think it's deeper than that with this Cliff thing, man. Like I think it's something other than that.
I think it's some beef.
I think
we're not talking steak.
I think there's a little bit going on behind the scenes too. I'll give you my picks for OC and DC. My OC, I don't even know how to say his name. It's Nate Scheelhaase. It SCHEELHAASE. He is the Rams passing game coordinator. Over the summer, he interviewed for the Jaguars and I think the Buccaneers offensive coordinator jobs. Didn't get it, but Sean McVay said, "Hey, I'll give you some more responsibility if you come back." So he's had a larger role in their offense. He has spent. He was the pass game coordinator this year. Last year, he was an offensive assistant and a passing game specialist. Before that, he was the offensive coordinator and a quarterbacks coach at Iowa State. He actually was also the run game coordinator at Iowa State, so he worked with Breece Hall there. So if we target Breece Hall in free agency, we get Nate Scheelhaase after working with the Rams coming from the McVay tree. I feel like that could be an interesting one. And then my DC would be Matt Patricia because he posted a goodbye post to Ohio State on his Instagram. I think he's out of college.
Shout out to you, Grant.
Matt Patricia.
Hey, look, I brought that up the other night, and it's like you would have thought I said something crazy. Like people were like, "Hey, you're on to something with Matt Patricia," because that Ohio State defense. I mean, and think about it, we're at 7, so that's probably a prime spot for Caleb Downs or Arvell Reese. So if you get Matt Patricia, one of those guys could follow.
Arvell Reese,
I could see it. That's another guy that's an ass of a head coach, but he can dance. He damn sure can,
trash head coach.
He's Josh McDaniels 2.0, but the defensive version.
The defensive version of Josh McDaniels, dog, for real. O-line played worse with JD compared to Marcus. Y'all agree with that?
Because he was forced to actually he was forced to actually have to be under center and do different things with his playbook. When Jaden Daniels is out there, Cliff Kingsbury says, hey, if it was up to Cliff Kingsbury, who threw the ball 56 times with Jaden Daniels out of the shotgun, he wouldn't even use a running back. He would go empty set every single time and just have Jaden Daniels throw it across the yard, man. That's not his style of offense. That's why, again, like
JD, do it, JD.
Exactly. That's why I was just
Jaden, save us, Jaden.
And everybody's been thinking on the same page. Like this is something more to this, and this thing has been lingering since the late stages of this season. I probably go out and say after that Minnesota game, Dan Quinn probably saw enough. Adam Peters probably saw enough. When you have 4 chances to get into the end zone and you throw all 4 times, and one of those passes are to Brandon Coleman out of all people, and
I thought he was Trent Scott.
Come on, man. And your biggest reason why you were down there was because C-Rod and Bill were both gashing the Vikings defense, and you don't think to just give it to them one time. So I think that was probably the start of this, and it carried on. But yeah, the O-line, you can say they played worse under Jaden Daniels, but I'm sure the drop backs and the ratio of compared to Marcus Mariota was way different. than it was for Jaden Daniels.
That
All right,
Vikings game, I was more mad at DQ than anybody because that was the week after the Broncos game. I had to listen to DQ say we might have lost, but we're not
lost anymore. Get out of here.
We went out there and let 9 destroy us. His entry.
9 spanked it. Nine says, I am the father. I was like, lighting us up, boy. I was like, this 9 doing this? Oh no, I don't want to see
had
this.
himself a day.
9 just spanked us. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. This is all right. So I'm gonna give y'all a meme. This is Cliff Kingsbury when Josh Johnson and Marcus Murray play football. Run the ball. I can't let them throw it. They suck. Span run plays. Oh, Marcus, I'll throw a little bit. Marcus, go ahead, Marcus. You can throw a little bit. That's cool. Jaden, save me, Jaden. Do it. Throw the ball all the time, Jaden. You can do it. Bill 4 carries. Save me. You like, Cliff, what the hell?
Yeah, man.
Cliff, what we doing, Cliff? Like,
but that's been his DNA.
Deal, bro.
That's been his DNA going back to all of his quarterbacks. Kyler Murray, same thing.
I hate it here, bro. I hate it here, bro.
When he had DeAndre Hopkins in Arizona, the biggest thing was he kept him on the left side. He didn't move around his star receiver as much. What did he do when he got to Washington? I guess he moved around Terry McLaurin a little bit, but
a little bit.
Yeah.
Little bit.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I ain't gonna lie.
Kinlaw was good against the run. I think as a pass rusher, definitely more to be desired, but like as a run stuffer, I didn't have a problem with Javon Kinlaw though.
Yeah.
He started the year a lot better than he finished it. So
Agreed.
And there's you're never going to find the answer to that. He might have just given up because we sucked. Other defensive linemen were injured, so he was playing more snaps, so he was tired. Maybe they just had him in positions he didn't want to be in. You're never going to know the answer. You just got to see him next year, see what he does.
I love his mentality. I love what he says in the press conference. Hopefully he doesn't start becoming Jonathan Allen, though. Because Jonathan Allen would do the same thing.
Oh no, I don't think it's John Allen, bro.
I hope not. Remember, we loved when John Allen would say what he say on the radio and pregame speech, but then after a while, it started.
I know weak speeches.
Have you ever seen the John Allen clip at Alabama in the locker room where he's giving the halftime speech or the pregame speech?
No.
Bro, he would have you ready to do anything he said. Like he put the fear of God into that locker room. I don't know what game that was, but I'm
my man was like, kill the ops. Okay, do it. Let's go.
Yeah, you would have done.
Yeah, you do anything off that joint. Yeah, people tweaking out that joint.
Kinlaw gives the same vibe, but just explicit.
Yeah, and more DC. You know, he from Northeast, so he bring a little DC vibe with him.
I love it,
man. What's up, Mo? Man, we gonna get these MFs today, Mo. Whoa, Javon. Whoa, hey, the colorful language. You think I give an F, bro? Oh, bro, I said y'all the colorful language, bro. Shut up. Hey, look, man, we gotta smack these MFs today. Okay, all right, man. You go have fun doing that. Okay.
You get rid of Deron Payne, and maybe John Newton finally steps up. I was getting a little bit of hate for that for his Cowboys game because I wasn't blown away how everybody else was. Like I know he had statistically the crazy sacks, but like watching them, they weren't like he wasn't manhandling. He was falling into the sacks, bro.
The people were pushing Dak into him, and he was just there.
Yeah, so
John like a little bit.
See what happened, how he finished the season. He didn't do nothing in the last game. So
I would say like it was a couple of times where like Johnny got pressure on Tanner McKee, but he just never got home because Tanner
it's Tanner
like, ran around like a little crackhead.
It's Tanner McKee. He's playing against his competition.
He's supposed to get him on the ground. He's supposed to get him on the ground. I agree with that. Go get him on the ground, bro. It's Tanner McKee, bro. If you could go get Dak on the ground, go get Tanner McKee on the ground, bro.
We can just go ahead and admit that we whiffed on those 3 second-round picks. I'm gonna give some grace to Ben Sinnott because I would love to see how he is with the next offense.
Are you done with Mikey, bro?
Oh no, Mikey, hell no, that's my guy. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on, say, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'm sorry. Let me
Wait,
clear that up.
the second round picks are Ben Sinnott, Johnny
Mikey,
Newton, Mike Sanderstill, and Trey Amos.
Trey Amos this year. So I'm talking about the 24 class. So Trey, that's my guy. I think he's the future cornerback one of this team. Mikey Samstill is my dog too. I think he is a better outside corner than he is inside, but a lot of people want to force him back inside because of his size. But I kind of compared him this year, and this sounds crazy because of where he's at now, but clearly he lacks coveraging skills when utilized wrong, but he has a knack for the football. He has the most turnovers on this team, but he has like 9 in 2 years. He's probably Dan Quinn's version of Trayvon Diggs. Of course, everybody's going to point to the coveraging PPFF and he gives up the most yards. He can't cover this, but he's going to find a way to get the ball, turn over the ball. He's not afraid to tackle. Everyone wants to laugh at him for the Javonte Williams, him getting ran over. He didn't duck it. He didn't get out the way. He didn't say, "Hey, look, I'm not going to tackle him." He's 5'10". What do you 5'8"? Oh, I gave him 2.
Like 5'9".
5'8",
5'9". See Mikey in person, he 5'9". I'm 5'6". He's like 3 inches taller than me. So he's like 5'9".
In person too.
He's 5'9".
Yeah. I love Mikey, man. I think I
love Mikey too. That's my boy.
Utilized better, and I think
Big Mikey.
9 turnovers in 2 years just speaks to what he can be. So
yeah,
I think he's probably best playing outside corner.
10.
Exactly. 10. Okay.
I think he's probably best playing outside corner in some sort of scheme where he has eyes on the quarterback, because that way he can leverage kind of his instincts. The size thing, I know this sounds backward. I think the size thing is actually a bigger deal if he plays inside, because when he's outside, the sideline is an extra defender for him. Now, granted, if you run up against a team with 2 AJ Browns, that's a problem, but there isn't really a team out there like that. Having your cornerback 1 travel, like, it's not always ideal, but if Drake London's 6'4" and they're just chucking jump balls at him all day, okay, you travel with him. But yeah, Mikey's size over the middle of the field when he's getting moved around with all the motion and the fact that sometimes you're going to have traffic coming at you and congesting everything, is probably a bigger issue for his size inside than out.
No, for real. Because like they do all the pick plays and all the traffic, and wide receiver kind of give him a little pick, and if he can't get to the guy and the guy's open and all the space, and he's like, "Bye-bye, end zone. See you later, Mikey. Couldn't get me." But that's never allowed touchdown for Mikey Sammer still. So, yeah, don't got time for that.
Slot corner is a different beast, man. You have to be different to play inside.
Do you think David Bailey gonna be a bust like Mike Green or Devin Azaraku? I can't call him bust after 1 year. That's crazy.
I was actually just typing a response to this. I mean, yeah, to your point, calling them a bust is crazy. Give them a chance. The answer is no. The answer is no. I think David Bailey is a very similar player to Will Anderson Jr. Not quite as strong. I don't think he'll be as good, but I think he's going to be really, really good.
My man David Bailey disrespectful. My man go out there with no swag, no nothing. It's 31 helmet, no VC, get quarterback.
No purchase, no accessories, nothing.
It's just go get quarterback. That's it. Go get quarterback.
And he's smart. He got his degree from Stanford in 3 years.
He's smart as hell. Oh yeah. Draft David Bailey. If it's not David Bailey, I take Caleb Downs or Ruben Bain, but David Bailey my number one. Not my number one.
And to be fair, Mike Green was playing in Zach Orr's defense. Clearly, we seen how that was this year.
Zach Orr's defense is garbage.
So yeah,
Joy is garbage.
That's why we should have lost on Sunday, man. And I know they joked around. They kind of joked around in the press conference about it. I think AP was like, "Yeah, I told DQ to tank," and he was like, "Hell no, whatever." But like, you're at 5. I think you have your pick. With David Bailey. Now you're at 7. It's not a guarantee. Like I know everyone wants to say Cleveland's gonna go receiver for Shedeur Sanders. They love defense in Cleveland. I'm sure the new staff they got Myles Garrett. They're gonna do whatever they can to help him. He doesn't have an elite pass rusher next to him. What's stopping them from taking David Bailey at 4?
Ruben Bain. Arvell Reese. They don't got JOK no more. They might take Arvell Reese too.
Yeah, JOK has, but he hasn't played since week 8 of last year, and it might be over.
Yeah, I think Bro Cook. I don't think he's playing no more.
Yeah, but
So,
we're taking Jeremiah Love at 7. I wouldn't mind that at all. A lot of people hate the idea.
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't love it either. I'm kind of indifferent. I wouldn't hate it though.
Yeah, a lot of people are like still on this. Running backs are too high to take it, and I'm back to how I was when I was younger. I'm still young, but you know what I mean. Like running back was
You like a teenager.
running back was the position when I was a kid, right? Of course, right. Now I think, as Grant brought up earlier, Bijan Robinson and Jameer Gibbs and Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs and Ashton Genty, list goes on. Like the running back position. The running back position is relevant again. So you're not looked at to be crazy how I was looking at Detroit a few years ago when they drafted Jameer Gibbs at 12. Like you're no longer being looked at and then I'm at this point where under Ron Rivera, we drafted for need. That's why we ended up with Jamin Davis, because we needed a linebacker. We needed a receiver to go up against Terry. So that's why we passed up on Kyle Hamilton and Jamison Williams and Chris Olave to trade back to get Jahan Dawson. That's why we reached and got Emmanuel Forbes instead of taking Christian Gonzalez, because we needed a cornerback that can force turnovers. I'm tired of drafting for need. We need to draft the best player available at 7, regardless of everyone's making their mock drafts and everyone has their pick. I have my pick. Tone, you have your pick. Grant, I'm sure you have your pick of who you want. Regardless of who we take at 7, it has to be a blue chip player. And if that blue chip player you deem, and I know Mel Kiper's big board isn't the most accurate or the best to look at, but that's just an example. If we get to 7 on draft night and Jeremiah Love is your number 1 best player available, I think you have to take him, because we need those kind of players on this roster. We do not have enough blue chip players on this roster to be sitting here trying to say, you know what, I'm gonna pass up on that just to go, because we need to fill a role. That's why we got the most money in the NFL and salary cap. Fill most of your needs in free agency. That's
why I think your job is fill as many holes as possible in free agency. Yeah. So when the draft does come around, you want to just pick the best player available. It's a question from Jacob Danner 2820. Do you have your top free agent target? Washington wants to sign. Mine is Quay Walker. Mine is Grant. Go ahead. I don't know mine. That's a good question.
Quay Walker's very high on my list as well. It comes down to budget balancing. The Quay Walker's up there. Devin Bush is up there. Breece Hall, if the money is right. If the money is right, I'd like to see Breece Hall. Tariq Woolen, if you don't like him. Josh Jobe, that's more of a man versus zone scheme thing. You got to figure that out. Jobe's going to be more of a zone. Woolen's going to be your man guy. But those are a few guys. Maybe Tyler Linderbaum, although Biotish is under contract next year, so you'd have to work something out with that. Maybe ship him out of town to do that. But yeah, that's 5. So that's 5 guys.
What's your top 5 one?
Yeah, so for me, I know we talked about him earlier, talked about his teammate earlier, Brandon Ayuk. I would probably prefer Juwan Jennings over Brandon Ayuk. I know in the past Brandon Ayuk is more skillful. He hasn't seen him play in 2 years, and someone commented under his last picture and said bro got CTE from a knee injury. So like I don't know what's going on upstairs either. So I'm kind of scared to take a chance on him, because it's been since I last seen him play, and last thing he posted was him speeding past Levi Stadium.
So he was tweaking.
I'm a little nervous about Brent. I know we have the connection with Jaden Daniels and Arizona State and all that. I get that, but I probably would be going with Juwan Jennings if anything. I do like Breece Hall. I think he's more of a reality than K9 is, because I don't see Seattle letting K9 go. They got Zach Charbonnet, I know, but I don't see, especially if they have a nice playoff run. I would like Breece Hall as well. I think that kills another need, or not a need, that kind of takes us maybe out of the Jeremiah Love sweepstakes, if anything. We haven't talked about safety much. We have not talked about safety much, and clearly Quan Martin won't be back here. So who's going to be the roaming teammate for one Will Hurst next year? I see my guy Cam Curl's name in the comment section a few times in my videos. Look, I love Cam. I would not mind having him back, but the same regime that didn't pay him the first time is still here. So I don't know why they would do it again. Now he's a couple years older. But his teammate Quinn Lake is interesting. And he's a free agent. He's not a free agent anymore. He got paid. So he would have been a interesting name to look after as well. But safety, that's another name another position that we can kind of look at. As you mentioned, you brought up Downs for the draft at 7. I don't know how I'm feeling about Reek Woolen. He hasn't necessarily been that guy after his rookie year. Like, he bursted onto the scene and was outstanding. Now it's Josh Jobs, it's Devin Witherspoon, Nick Imawari, is safety back there, is kind of taking over that defense as well. So maybe a fresh set for him and a change of scenery would be kind of good for him to potentially to come over in Washington and maybe kind of retool himself. I do like the Quay Walker pickup as well, but my number one free agent, I know I'm kind of rambling. My number one free agent is probably Isaiah Likely. And now that John Harbaugh is out of there, they paid Mark Andrews. We don't know who's going to come in and be their next offensive coordinator. I think that is my number one free agent, and that's a realistic option. A lot of people want to talk about Kyle Pitts. I don't know if Atlanta is going to let go of Kyle Pitts. They're actually a really good team. They're talented on both sides of the football. They are just poorly coached. So I don't know if they want to break that up. But, yeah, my number one probably would be Isaiah Likely, tight end.
You brought up safety, so I just want to say this draft is probably going to be amazing for safeties. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't look into the future, but Caleb Downs is going to be phenomenal. Dylan Thieneman from Oregon's really good. Amari Ramsey from USC is good. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren from Toledo, I think, is going to be really good. Bray Hubbard's going to be good. Taff, I can never remember if it's Taff or Taffy, but the Texas guy, he's good. Shout out to John from Ballin and Burgundy. He was telling me about Genesis Smith from Arizona. I was looking him up. He looks good. Spears Jennings from Oklahoma. Bud Clark from TCU. Like, there are tons of safeties in this draft. So even if we don't go Caleb Downs, I really want to take a safety somewhere.
I completely agree with that. I give my top 5 free agents because I'm not going to give my number one. Isaiah Likely with my top 5 on there. My number 2 is going to be kind of surprising because I know Breece Hall is kind of like the big name at the running back position, things of that nature. This is more after this one. Yeah, you can go ahead and go. You can head out one if you need to. But yeah. What am I about to say? Tyler Algier is another one of my top 5 free agents. I like Tyler Algier a lot, actually. I know Breece Hall's number one name, and K9, all the other guys. I don't think Adam Peters is going to pay big money for a running back. I think they believe in Bill. They believe Bill is an RB1B to someone's 1A. And I believe Tyler Algier could be that 1A or 1B to Bill. Like, I think it's a great contrast to Bill's running style. I think it's a perfect fit. Like, especially when we get a zone blocking scheme. I just think Tyler Algier is perfect. He will be cheaper than these guys. He's a 1,000-yard back. He runs people over. He's disrespectful with it. He gets touchdowns in the red zone. Perfect fit. He's an upgrade with C-Rod. Sorry for your C-Rod lovers. I do not give a hell. He's better than C-Rod. Move along. Get out the way. All disrespect. Sorry. Argue with your mama. And then number 3 for me, I know this is definitely not going to be possible. It's not probable. I would love to get Cameron Brate back. I completely agree with Juan there. I know the safety class is deep. I'm kind of like moving Will Harris to nickel. I'm kind of on that type of time. Just because we need a nickel, and I don't fight drafting one. I draft a safety. That's going to be a free safety running around, making plays, and Cam could be that in the box guy that we know and love from his time here, his first stint. Now, I think they might watch his film on all 22s and say, oh, crap, we were kind of tripping. Let's bring this guy back. Like, what were we doing? We was acting stupid. What is wrong with us? But they might have revisionist history. Don't know. Number 4 for me will be Quay Walker because he's a dog. And my true number 1 is another linebacker who can't. This guy's available. Devin Lloyd. Freaking behemoth. Like Frankie who? Bobby who? Who those guys? I don't. You signed Devin Lloyd, Bobby Wagner, CeeDee McCann, and Frankie Louvu. Here's a ticket to unemployment office. Nice knowing. You can go. With your non-run gap given, run away from gaps, can't tackle nobody, don't want to tackle nobody self. You know, if you watch all 22, you know what I'm talking about. Grant knows what the heck I'm talking about because Grant's seen all 22 to Frankie Louvu running away from run gaps like a sissy. He's a sissy. He's also an HOE until proven otherwise. You are a HOE. Oh, I appreciate you.
Yeah. I want to see if I can find the video. Oh, I have it.
Oh my gosh.
I have it.
Oh yeah, nah, dang, that's a good question. Yeah, that's a whole video.
Can you throw
that's
my?
That's a whole video. Like,
I'm sharing my screen. Can you throw it up on there?
Yeah, but
this is the play.
Oh my!
So this is Frankie Louvu right here. Keep an eye on him.
Look how he running away like a sissy, bro. Look how he's a sucker, bro. He's a sucker, bro. Like, look at this, bro. You're a sucker, bro. I can't.
Yeah, this wasn't a very nice thing for me to do, but I was going back and just watching some Frankie Louvu clips, and I was literally just watching basically every snap that Frankie Louvu was in, and this is what happened.
He ran away every time. He ain't want no smoke.
He's just getting washed out by everybody.
He even getting washed out. He runs away.
Missed the tackle.
If we take anything but urge at 7, AP should be fine.
All right, fellas, I'm about to head out. I appreciate y'all for having me on, Tone. I appreciate you. And Grant, definitely great chopping up with you. Definitely look forward to doing this again. I would love to stay the whole time, but it's late and I gotta get up at 4 a.m. sadly. So I wish I did. Yeah, 4 a.m. man. I wish I didn't have to, but hey, it's life. So
gotta get his money. Gotta get his moolah.
I'll catch y'all later, man. If y'all want to collab again, just hit me up. I'm open to it.
For sure. Good talking to you, bro.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
All right, Brody. Shout out to Juan. Yeah, bro. Frankie Lou was a sucker, bro. I don't appreciate him. He gets straight sucker activity from me. I ain't gonna lie. Lou definitely sold my boy. I ain't gonna lie. Good wins, Bobby Wagner. If we get a Quay Walker or a Devin Lloyd, that definitely screams and Bobby Wagner here. Anything else you want to talk about?
I'm interested to see just what direction linebackers actually. I mean, everybody knows we're getting an edge rusher. Wide receivers, I guess, is a question mark. Like, there are a lot of question marks, but I actually think one of the biggest ones is what does happen at linebacker. Where are they going to put Jordan McGee? Do they think Jordan McGee is the answer? Are they drafting? I mean, Arvell Reese has been floated around as a linebacker. If we trade back, we could draft Sonny Styles. You could get a guy in the mid-round. You could go out and spend big money to get a Devin Lloyd, to get a Quay Walker. There's like a million different avenues that you could go down for linebacker. And linebacker is probably the most frustrating position for a lot of fans this year with how Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu performed. Like, they were just in the headlines, I feel like, more than pretty much any other player, just from what I see scrolling on Twitter, scrolling on YouTube. So I think linebacker is actually probably the most interesting position to watch this offseason.
I completely agree because these two were terrible. Like, I wouldn't say Bobby Wagner was terrible in general, but as a pass coverage linebacker, it was absolutely a horror film. And Frankie Louvu can't cover us, no air. So I don't know what we're doing here. Even on top of that, the fact that he can't cover air, and then he gets washed in run games by guards and tackles because he wants to run away like a sucker. I can't take that either. So it's like, darn if you do, darn if you don't. I can't take it. I think Frankie has a very, very limited skill set. His blitz to quarterback will say, hey, bro, you have to get this running back, bro, or you got to get on the bench. Like, okay, I'll go do it, I guess. Then he'll go do it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I kind of want at least one new linebacker. I actually do like Jordan McGee. I'm going to play a 4-3 or, this 5-2-5 or 4-2-5. Look, we've been doing with 5 defensive backs. We'll see how things go. I don't know, but I do believe in Jordan McGee's talent. I like Jordan McGee, so at least one more linebacker in the room, and maybe Luvu's role gets reduced a bit, and then we'll go from there. But
finding someone who can drop down and play. I mentioned his name, Dylan Thieneman from Oregon. He's projected to go in the second round, so if that happens, we're not going to get him because we don't have a second round pick. But a guy like that, for NFL terms, a guy like a Brian Branch, a Kyle Hamilton, they're great players, but I'm not even talking about their abilities. I'm talking about the things that they do, how they line up in different areas. If you look at the numbers in the NFL, teams that play base, basically linebackers are just being phased out of the NFL because you want guys who are fast that can run around the field, or you want giants on the defensive line who don't let you run through them. They stop the line. Linebackers are that hybrid of the two. They're 230, 240, 250 pounds, some coverage instincts, some ability to play the run. In the modern NFL, they're just being phased out. So that's why you see the numbers, they're worse for teams who are in base. But if you're in nickel all the time, heck, even if you're in dime all the time, your numbers actually hold up better. So one of the ways we can support the linebackers, whoever they end up being, is by getting somebody we trust to, if it's a safety playing in the box or a more big physical presence playing the nickel slot than 5'8" Mike Sainristil. That's actually how you can support the middle of the field.
I agree with that as well. Definitely agree with that. I will say this, like, probably one last comment. I know I probably had to bed a little bit myself. I get up in the morning, but
yeah.
Should we trade down top 10? That's your third fall from Kendrick Falk. Your thoughts on Kendrick Falk? You think we should trade down in order to try to get a guy like that?
Keldrick Falk, I think, is probably already a very good NFL edge-setting run defender, and I think he's one of the worst pass rushers I've ever seen. He's like the most tricked out version of Dietrich Wise there is. He's 290 pounds at edge. You're not going to get past him. You cannot run to his side of the field, but he is not going to get a sack. So for me personally, we need an edge, but we need a pass rushing edge. So he's not the pick for me.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I think he learned the pit my ride version of Dietrich Wise. I completely agree with that wholeheartedly for sure. Like my man said, exhibit pit my ride. I mean, it's like it turned this 290-pound non-football player to Kendrick Falk. So here you go. You're gonna stop the run. He will not sack the quarterback, and on top of that, he's gonna maul people and be disrespectful. That's about it. That's all you're gonna get from him. Yeah, I'm good on Falk. I'm not a big fan. I'm sorry. I think he's a really good football player, but if we were looking for a Dietrich Wise clone, you could find those later in the draft. I don't think you would spend a first round pick on a guy like that. Yeah, I'm good on that, respectfully. Like I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. If there's another edge rusher maybe or another position, like you say, hey, trade down and draft Jordan Tyson. I know people, oh, not edge. AP needs to be fired. Don't do this. No. But if you trade down, it's like 10 and Jordan Tyson sitting right there. Okay, cool. But for Kendrick Falk, no. I'll pass. Hard pass. Behind the back, Chris Paul back in the day pass. So super good.
Yeah, we're picking 7th. I think there are 5 picks that are guaranteed. 2 quarterbacks, Mendoza and Moore, they're guaranteed. I think 2 of these 3, and I'll call them edge rushers, even though Arvell Reese is a linebacker, but Arvell Reese / Reuben Baines / David Bailey. At least 2 of those are gone. The 2 quarterbacks are gone. And then I think 1 receiver is gone, whether it's Tyson, whether it's Lemon, whether it's Tate, whoever. So that's 5. We're picking 7. So at that 6th spot, is it going to be the 3rd of those edge rushers? Is it going to be another receiver? Is it going to be an offensive tackle? Is it going to be Francis, whose last name I can never pronounce, from Miami? Is it going to be either of the Oregon or the Utah tackles? Is it going to be Jeremiah Love? Is it going to be Caleb Downs? All those people are in the mix, and then we'll pick at 7.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I just think that's how I see that as well. Like at 7, I think it'd be a pick of like a David Bailey, Auburn Reese. I mean, I think Reese could be there at 7, but more than like he won't be, like you said. I probably agree with that. I mean, David Bailey, Caleb Downs, and Jeremiah Love will be there at 7. One of those 3 players will be there at 7, and you'll pick for one of those 3 guys. Bain will be gone. I just think somebody's going to draft Bain early. Probably Tennessee or something like that. But we'll see.
I agree with this. I agree with this last comment. The one that says we'll have to choose, the one right above that, we'll have to choose between Downs and Bailey. I agree with that. I think that's going to be our choice.
I agree with that too. I think Bailey, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think it's gonna be a choice. I think it's gonna be a choice between an offensive player and Downs. Because I think Bailey and Bain will be gone. Like I truly believe it. I think someone's gonna trade for David Bailey. They'll say, here, draft picks, take them. I want the no swag edge rusher. Bring him here. Get over here. Help my pass rush. Like I truly believe that. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like Cleveland might take somebody, and then Tennessee might spin the blocks. Oh yeah, you know. And you like, I'm gonna take offensive players. What happened to that? Sorry. We wanted edge rusher too. Sorry. I know we have Jeffrey Simmons in Tennessee, but we needed somebody else. Got Tavondre Sweat and all that, but we need another edge guy. We would just bring this guy here. But what about Cam Ward? You don't care about him? We got $100 million in cap space. We're not worried about that. Oh, hey, Cleveland, what about Shador? We don't care about that. But we got Jerry Jeudy and a bunch of jacks. We don't care about that. Defense win championship over them. Hate these fools. They're going to get in the way. They're going to take defensive players. They're going to piss me off. They're going to be left with Caleb Downs or an offensive player. I'm like, there was edge rushers. Caleb Downs it is.
If we are left with like Tyson and Tate and Love and maybe even Arvell Reese, if that's what we have and a team wants to come up and get him, you got my blessing. I'll trade back to 12. I'll get Sonny Styles or whoever. I'll take somebody there. If Bain and Bailey and Downs and all those playmakers are off the board, yeah, I'm cool trading back.
Yeah, I truly believe like one of them elite defensive players are going to be there, and maybe a bunch of offensive players. I don't know why I got a weird feeling about this, but it's going to be. I think they're going to take another edge rusher next to Myles Garrett. They don't have nobody next to Myles Garrett. They don't have nobody. They drafted Mason Graham last year. They're going to take the Washington model and keep drafting defensive linemen until the defensive line's unstoppable, unquote. And then they'll try to get Shador some help in free agency. They'll try to get Shador some help in free agency, get an Alec Pierce, something like that, and Vince all right. Ruben Bain, come here, Ruben Bain, because David Bailey gonna be gone. Tennessee gonna take him, bro. I don't know why I got this feeling the Titans are going to take David Bailey. I know they need help for Cam Ward. There's plenty of receivers in free agency you can pick up. I think someone's going to pick David Bailey before pick 5. Then someone's going to turn around and get Ruben Bain. They're going to make me mad. And then say, darn, what are we going to do here? I'm not taking Folk at 7, bro. I don't want no Kendrick Folk, bro. You think Titans taking Reese? I think Cardinals might take Reese. But they just fired a head coach. So I don't think. If we take Cassius Howe, I'm going to throw up. Puke. Someone said we take Peter Woods at 7. If we take Peter Woods at 7, bro.
If we take Peter Woods at 7, no.
I'm not watching football.
That's the end of it. That's it.
I don't care if we give it to Rob Payne or not. You better not take no Peter
Yeah, full
Woods.
command is going to become full Panthers or something like that. I can't handle it if we take Peter Woods at second.
You was crazy. I'm not passing on Downs or Bailey to mess this ish up or Pinkley upon everyone. Gotta get out it. Bro, you said trade up for it. What if someone trades 2 first-round picks for it go to get an edge? What you gonna do then? You gonna say, all right, I'm gonna up the ante. I'm gonna just trade everything. We don't got nothing to trade. I'm gonna try to trade my whole 27 draft for edge rusher. I do not want to be the Falcons. The Falcons, I'm sure they're so happy with James Pierce Jr. They want to do backflips and do cartwheels and all that good jazz. But they gave a first-round pick as a top 10 pick because they were so thirsty for a daggone edge rusher. Now look at them. They're gonna let the Rams do the heck they want to do at 9 because they get first-round pick. Be careful what you wish for. You might just get. I don't want to do that. Give me best player available. If it's Downs, cool. If it's Bain, cool. If it's whoever, I don't care. Give me best player available. I prefer not be an offensive player, but if it's Jordan Tyson, I won't cry. It's a part of tape, whatever. But I want Caleb Downs personally or an edge rusher. But edge rusher first.
Yeah, I want an edge rusher too. But I mean, if Bailey and Downs are off, or Bailey and Bain and Downs, because if we can't get an edge rusher, Downs would be my third choice there. If those guys are all off the board, I will, like I said, I'll happily trade back. Give me a second-round pick as well, so I can take Sonny Styles or whoever, and then I can get Dylan Thieneman in the second, and Derek Moore in the third. And now we just got.
I want that Oregon safety to get
of good defensive pieces.
I want that Oregon safety.
Yeah,
must get an edge rusher. But it's only 2. All right. It's my last thought. And
there's only 2 elite edge rushers in this class.
Yeah, it's only 2. It's only 2. Shout out to Tim and Jairus. Shout out to both of them. We have a group chat together. We was talking about this early. And I was like, there's only 2 guys I want. It's Ruben Bain or it's David Bailey. Everyone else can kick rocks. I don't want Cassius Howard 7. I don't want no Dave. I don't want no Peter Woods. I don't want none of them fools at 7. No. If you told us picking 19, sure. 7, no. So Wilson has a better offer than us. You have to think about this. We have 6 picks in this draft, and they probably don't want to get their 2027 first-round pick. Look at the Falcons. I just made the example. They traded up to go get James Pierce Jr., and they're paying for it. They're paying dearly. After they just picked the edge rusher. Can't make this crap up, bro. And look at Atlanta. They'll have a first round pick. And it's a top 10 pick in the draft. But they gave it up. You can take both spectrums. And also, Atlanta didn't do nothing with the edge rusher. They had the edge rush. It's cute, but it's a top 10 pick they don't have. And they can't afford not to have. They can use that top 10 pick to get someone to replace Michael Penix Jr. that has no needs. That's my point. I'm sorry, my fault, Brian. I'm so
no, you're
sorry.
good. I pretty much said everything I had to say.
Okay. That's not the player. Tim, we'll talk. Text messages. James Pierce Jr. is a dog. That's not the problem, Tim. The problem is that they have a quarterback with no needs. They can't get another one.
This is probably my last comment, then I gotta head out of here.
Yeah, all right, so John Harbaugh. All right, Slate, would you fire DQ right now to hire John Harbaugh?
Absolutely not.
Okay, we're in agreement. All right. Shout out to full
Earlier on
command.
when I said, why would you fire Cliff Kingsbury to hire Cliff Kingsbury? Why would you fire Dan Quinn to hire Dan Quinn?
Exactly. So, like, comment, subscribe, guys. Shout out to the Full Command Show. Hey, you are part of the Full Command family. Come on over here. Go to the PSN Commanders family. Hit the subscribe button.
to Own if you have not already, please.
And subscribe to Grant if you're not done so. If you're coming from over here, smash the sub button for Grant, because Grant is the man with the plan. He showed us that Frankie Louvu runs from contact and he's a sucker. So please go subscribe. And y'all have a great night. Y'all be easy. Get some rest. We will catch y'all later, and we will not get Mike McDaniel. So you can go ahead with that. Tim, we were talking to text message, Tim. Talking text message. Y'all be easy, y'all.